The hatred of Elon Musk has hit epic proportions. These people have taken to the interwebs, and they are now saying that you need to take down Tesla. Hashtag Tesla takedown.
I think the Tesla takedown matters for several key reasons. One is that it gives many people a means to get out in peaceful protest to make their voices heard. Very important right now. And it also matters because it helps people to learn the facts about the reckless and deadly activities of Musk and Doge that are impacting people directly. But as far as actually taking Tesla down, I don't think it's actually on any of the protesters. Elon Musk only has himself to blame for tanking this company. Tesla.
Why? What is he even talking about with a tanked company? And that is an actor by the name of Alex Winter. And I'm like, I don't know who that actor is, except, oh yeah, that's right. That's Ted that's Bill from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Tesla was permanently tarnished the moment Musk gave that Nazi salute and followed it with his brutal attack on the lives of ordinary citizens. It's all on Elon. There is no conspiracy. There is.
You mean the burning of the cars and the keying of the cars and the wiping of the feces on cars? That's all Elon too? Oh, Alex, maybe I understand now why the career didn't go the way you thought it would. Tony Katz Today. And by the way, careers don't go always the way they think they would. But certainly this thinking doesn't help. Ed Morrissey joins us right now from HotAir.com. I really shouldn't bag on the guy's career. Maybe he tried, maybe there were issues, maybe it went exactly the way he wanted. Who am I to say? I should really stick to the task at hand, which is to say, you have violent attacks, Ed Morrissey of HotAir.com, on Tesla property, and you have the celebrity class staring at domestic terrorism and saying, Elon did it. What say you?
Well, this is the left, right? They're always blaming their victims for the violence that they commit. And by the way, it's not just, Tesla dealerships. It's also people who own Teslas. They're attacking, they're keying not just the cars on the lots. Everywhere they find Teslas, they are vandalizing them and intimidating people who drive them. And that's what Alex Winter, who you just saw on the screen there, that's what Alex Winter is basically cheering on by saying, well, it's really Elon's fault that this happened. This is absolute nonsense. A hot second ago, the same people who are out there doing the Tesla takedown thought that driving a Tesla was a form of virtue signaling. I care about the environment. I am doing something about the environment. We all need to go to electric cars, and Elon Musk is showing us the way. That was a hot second ago. And as soon as he starts helping to cut government spending, which is, by the way, a very popular position, a very popular thing to do, suddenly he is the Emmanuel Goldstein of the month. And you've got the 2-minute hates going on a constant basis out at Tesla dealerships around the country. It's absurd what is going on here.
So you had actually written a piece over at HotAir.com. The moment a Daily Show host realizes what his audience is, and they've got the rotating hosts over there, and he's going through a litany of, here's where they set them on fire, and here's where this guy wiped feces, put his hand in his backside and wiped the car down, and here's where they keep the car, and the crowd is cheering it, and it comes back to it cuts to him, the camera cuts to him, and he's like, oh, so you guys really do like domestic terrorism? Because that's what it is. And when you see hashtag Tesla takedown, they've got Alex Winter, they've got John Cusack, they've got Representative Jasmine Crockett speaking about this thing. This is how they mobilize, by cheering the violence and the destruction?
Yeah, this is how they mobilize. This is what they're about. This is what the left is about. The left is only interested in democracy as long as they're the ones that are put in charge of it. And as soon as they're not in charge of it, they use violence to try to get their way through other means. And that is the classic definition of terrorism, using violence to force people to your political position or your preferred policies, using violence as a means to force that. And that's exactly what's happening here. They're trying to use violence as a means to stop Elon Musk from helping to find government spending that's wasteful, government spending that's redundant, government spending that's just flat out ridiculous. And if you want to, Luke Rosiak's piece today at the Daily Wire, I don't know if you've seen it yet, Tony, about the FMSC, Federal Mediation Federal Mediation and Conciliation Service. That's what FMCS. I mean, that agency was spending ridiculous amounts of money on themselves. They weren't doing anything, but they were using government credit cards to rack up bills for BMW leases. They were double dipping, triple dipping. It was an incredible amount of corruption that was going on at this FMCS. And Doge is the one that actually did something about it. Luke Rosiak had been writing about it a decade ago, trying to raise the alert on this, and nobody did anything about it until Doge took over and looked at the spending that was going through there and shut it down. They shut it down this week. And that's the type of thing that's going on. And that's the type of thing that these people find offensive.
Talking to Ed Morrissey of HotAir.com. What if I said to you that I don't actually think it is that simplistic? What if it's not just because of what Elon Musk is doing with Doge? This is Representative Jasmine Crockett, part of this same Tesla takedown video stream.
Politicians. So I'll make sure that I keep it short, but I am truly here for very selfish reasons. Starting with on March 29th, it's my birthday. And all I want to see happen on my birthday is for Elon to be taken down. Yes. Listen, I have learned as I serve on the Doge Oversight Committee that there is only one language that the people that are in charge understand right now. And that language is money. And so I've been so proud to see us organized behind a cause.
She states it. First of all, I want to see Elon Musk taken down. It's what I want for my birthday. That is very weird. Most people want cake. But it's a very strange thing to hear Representative Crockett say, and it is a violent thing. And she goes on to say, I'm being nonviolent. No, you're not. Which brings us back to, is this all really about Doge and these cuts that don't affect the vast majority of people who are engaged in this Tesla takedown thing? Or is there another story underneath? Do you think this is all Doge?
No, it's not all Doge. I think you're right to ask that question. This is about losing an election. They simply will not accept the fact that they've lost an election, that they don't have access to power any longer. And Democrats are going out of their minds over this. I mean, Chuck Schumer made a lot of mistakes because Chuck Schumer is a strategic moron. Okay. But the one thing that he actually did right was to get out of that shutdown trap that he had put himself in, even though he had to do so by heaping humiliation on himself by retreating. Democrats want to have these shutdowns. Why? Because they want to be in power. And even if they don't win elections, they still want to be in power. Now, if all that was going on with Elon Musk and the left was a boycott, right? Don't buy Teslas anymore. We're going to go out to the sidewalks outside these dealerships and we're going to do protests, tell people don't buy Teslas. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. That's perfectly legal, and people can demonstrate. They can organize economic boycotts. The conservatives did it with Bud Light very effectively, I might add.
Right.
And I mean, that's one of the few times that we've actually been able to do that on the right. The left is a lot better organized on that, in part because, and this is the other thing, because the left was getting a lot of money through the federal government's money stream to NGOs that were then going to activist groups that were then, doing all of these campaigns. And that's one of the reasons why they're so freaked out about Doge. But even beyond that, this is just simply about they want to be in charge no matter who gets elected. And that's the reason why they created the bureaucracy that we see today, is to make sure that even when they weren't in power, their policies and their preferred targets were kept in place.
Now, if we were to agree that that is true, and by the way, I do, talking to Ed Morrissey of HotAir.com, you begin to understand that the destruction of property is only the ramp up. I have argued for the past year plus that the conversation of Trump is a threat to democracy, Trump was going to destroy democracy, Trump is going to take away your rights, Trump can't be allowed in the White House, was a call by MSNBC, CNN, and others. It was a call for a lone wolf. It was a call for someone to do damage. It seems very obvious that the call now is not for someone to do damage. It's a call to do damage not just to Trump, but in toto to anybody who disagrees with them. As a matter of just looking at our own history, this is a pretty violent moment in America.
Yeah, it's not new. I mean, you can go back 50 years ago. And by the way, Eli Lake apparently has a really great essay and podcast over at the Free Press about this. And we were doing the same thing in the late 60s and early 70s. And I mean, I'm kind of old enough to remember some of that, like the Symbionese Liberation Army and, the violent turn amongst the Black Panthers and that sort of thing. I mean, which started off as a sort of a community group. And the left loves violent radicals, and they always have, because they see violence as the necessary means to break, to break the bourgeoisie and to deliver the kind of chaos under which the new socialist state is going to emerge. That's part of what's going on with this. And it comes in cycles. I mean, we're coming back around on a 50-year cycle to the same type of nonsense that we've seen. And it's, by the way, it's been it's not new, even in the current context. I mean, this starts with Occupy Wall Street. And other movements like that, and especially with the campus riots that we've seen over the last year and a half during the Hamas war. This isn't new. This is a return to a certain type of tactic that the left uses when they're not getting their way. And that's what's happening right now.
Appreciate taking the time to be with us. More is coming up. I'm Tony Katz. This is Tony Katz Today.